How many of you guys can say that you've camped on a volcano before? Well, follow along on this adventure, because that is what we're doing. If you're new here, my name's Eric. After getting laid off from my job in 2023, I decided to sell my house and travel around the country while living out of my 2019 Jeep Wrangler. So follow along while I wander around the country, flying by the seat of my pants, never planning ahead, and letting serendipity take the wheel. Today I am just northeast of Flagstaff, Arizona at Sunset Crater Volcano National Monument. This volcano first erupted around 950 years ago. There's an ongoing debate about the timing of the eruptions. Supposedly the latest research indicates it erupted between 1040 AD and 1100 AD, lasting no longer than 50 years, but possibly only a few short months. While the highlight of the area is Sunset Crater, the boundaries of the park encompass over 3,000 acres of a much larger San Francisco volcanic field. The volcano is now considered dormant, but much like the recent volcanic activity on Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula, which had been dormant for nearly 800 years, the Sunset Crater is still considered a moderate risk to become active again. So I pulled in here just in time to get a little dinner made before the sun starts setting. All right, first thing we're going to do is cook some rice. Get that going. So since we used a third cup of rice, we need 2/3 cups of water. Maybe a little bit more. There's 2/3, and we'll give it a little bit more because it's going to take longer to boil. All right, well, while that's going, I'm gonna chop some vegetables up and get those set aside. All right, Pico. And a little salt and pepper, we'll be done with the Pico. And I'm using sirloin strips just from the local grocery store. Well, guys, we had a little disaster here. So I just ran out of propane. My big tank is empty. I was gonna fill it on the way out here, but the place was closed already. So I thought I had enough to get me through 2 or 3 days, but apparently not. My other refillable one that I refill off the big one is also empty. So we're having to go to my backup. All right, this is my backpacking stove, and it works off the isobutane. All right, now the steak's on. See if we can save this meal. All right, everything's cooked up. Time to assemble. I like to start with some sour cream. And no, this is not the proper, like, creme fraiche, but it'll do. Rice. Pico. Steak. Good. All right. That burrito's not going to close, which is why I have the aluminum foil. Oh, almost forgot my very favorite hot sauce. All right, so we got a Chipotle style burrito. Give it a sample. Okay, didn't get any meat in that bite, but good enough. As I was cleaning up and getting everything ready to climb in the Jeep for the night, I noticed something up on the hill. So I was watching the sunset over the hill back behind the Jeep, and there's a fire tower up there. Check this out. So I was, just looking, watching the sun go over the ridge, and I'm like, that doesn't look like a tree. So zoomed in with my camera, and sure enough, there's a fire tower. So I think we just found our adventure for tomorrow morning. I'm gonna pack up camp here and head that way and try to find that fire tower. This morning I'm on my way to find that lookout tower that I spotted yesterday. Once I got my Starlink turned back on, I was able to look at Google Maps and see that it's called O'Leary Peak, and that's O'Leary Lookout up on the top of the peak. So it looks like it's accessible from one of the campsites here in the area. So I'm going to go over to that campsite and see if it's a road I can drive up, or if that's like a road that you have to hike up. Sometimes they close those roads only for park rangers, just because too many people would go up there and vandalize or damage things. So back to the main road now, and we're gonna go check this out. Well, no driving up today. Kind of debating whether I want to hike that far. So it is 5 miles one way, 10-mile hike on a road. It's not like I'm bushwhacking, but well, let's see how this goes. So my compass app tells me that we're at about 7,000 feet, just shy of that. I did not look up to see what the elevation gain is, but I'd say at least 1,000 feet, I'm gonna guess. So we'll see how that goes. I'm a little bit more acclimated now, being mid-ish May, versus a month ago or more when I was hiking in Cochise Stronghold. I was not as accustomed to the altitude, so I already feel better here at 7,000 feet than I did hiking the last time. So we'll see how it goes today. Slowly building up my stamina for altitude. So yeah, we're going to be hiking alongside the lava flow from Sunset Crater. I can already see it off to my right over here. I'll try to get some close-up shots when I get a little bit closer. But such a cool area. If you've never checked this out, you really should. That is all lava. All of this on the ground is cinder, which is, the roadbed might be made from ground up cinder, but that back there is just eroded off the mountain or off the flow or whatever. So it's all cinder across there. This is just insane how much there is. I kind of wish I could bring my drone up here, but I'm now in the National Monument part of the park. So using my drone is a no-no. But I'd love to get up above the lava flow and kind of see where it goes, kind of follow it like our riverbed. But again, I'm now in the National Monument, so I'm not going to use the drone. Campsite was at last night, which you saw me using the drone. That is literally just outside of the National Monument, so it's up on Forest Service land, so I was able to use it there. The road is starting to climb, probably 5 to 10% grade. I'm sure it's going to get way steeper. We're still following the lava, and in the background, let me zoom in. That up there is Sunset Crater, and in the foreground, where the big rocks are, that's the lava. Now I don't know if that lava flow came from Sunset Crater or if it came from one of these other cinder cones like the one we're hiking up. So all these hills around are cinder cone volcanoes.
So the National Park Service does a pretty good job of maintaining fences. Barbed wire fence. I've been following it for a while now on the side of the road, and then it does a 90-degree corner and goes off that way. So they're protecting the lava flow so people don't climb on it. And over here, we got the boundary line. I'm at the first major switchback. That's looking downhill. There's the switchback downhill, and around the corner uphill. Found a nice rock to perch on for a minute and catch my breath. So I'm going to sit here in the shade for a minute before I continue on. I've got all day to do this hike, so I figure I'll just go slow on the way up. On the way down, it's going to be a lot easier. We're at about 7,450 feet and still climbing. I'm going to guess we have another 1,000 feet to go because it's very steady uphill now. Just based on the hills up here, it's at least 500 feet, if not 1,000. We'll see. That's another 500 feet up. Jesus. I am definitely feeling it now. It's been a couple hairpin turns on the way up. We're almost there, but holy cow. This last mile's been nothing but a stair climber for the whole way. I'm having to stop every 50 to 100 feet. My legs are burning, but I'm almost there. Push through, eat some lunch, then go back down. The views up here are impressive, but man, it takes energy to get up here. All right, back to it. Extremely tired. calves are burning. So I laid down for a bit in the shade while I have some, just to take a break before the push to the top. I think I bit off more than I can chew. Oh my God.
Looking over the eastern edge, you can actually see where I was camped last night and where I took the video from. Right about here is where the campsite was. This view really gives you a good perspective of the other cinder cone volcanoes in the area.
No rain, plenty of birdseed and hummingbird nectar. I like how they have to spell out viewpoint. Oh shit. My legs are spaghetti. Take this nice and easy. Let's see how many people actually come up here. So, started in January. Oh, not many. Well, of course, that's going to be because of winter. All right, we're locked back up. I'm going to start heading back down. It is 1:13, so, oh God. Took me 4+ hours to get up here. So it's probably going to take about half that to go back down, but I am exhausted. My legs are spaghetti. So I guess the sooner I get going, the better.